little fellow all by himself.
Right.
They came here on Valentine's Day to sing a song, The Little Kindergarten.
Oh, yeah.
And there he was. And the rest of them are standing in a line, singing their songs with all the, the little gestures, trying to remember them. He's walking around. A nonconformist, which Tom was
Yeah.
in school, always up at the, under duress. Yeah, so poor Huffy, I call him, his name is Hofbar. But
Hofbar?
They nicknamed him in school, the boys, Huffy.
Oh.
He was a young man then. He was just a kid, Christian brother, but he came out, and he's a civilian and has been at St. Joe's forever. Yeah. Now he's an old man, but he's going to hasten his retirement. I know it, because Keenan is Tom all over again.
Yeah, Tom 2.0.
Huh?
Tom version 2.
Yeah, and we say, and you deserve him, dear. And it was the dearest thing. He's wandering around and doing as he damn fool please. But when Cremena, in this kindergarten, she has to put in a day, volunteer, help out. So she has to bring Harrison along with her. Babysitter. So he learned the song. He's standing in there. He is smiling and he's just giving it his all and enjoying it and doing what he's supposed to do, but enjoying it. Now, some of the kids were, kind of nervous and scared, but not him. Just
no performance anxieties at all.
Yeah, just doing it.
So,
fitting right in. And here, I thought, okay, Thomas, check your gray hairs. Yeah, or Cremena, poor darling, is the same thing. But don't ever tell the kid your exploits.
Well, wait until they're older.
Yeah. I never let Daddy tell, he had his exploits as well.
Like what?
Oh, he was at prep, and he got expelled. He took a typewriter, I don't know on a dare or what. He dropped it from the second story. Well, the Depression zone on those typewriters cost,
Oh, yeah.
But, he ended up graduating from O'Day, but he was at prep early on. It's what everybody did up here at St. Joe's. Jesuit, you just did that.
Yeah.
But he was lucky to get into O'Day.
So he dropped a typewriter from the second story? Mm-hmm. I had heard a rumor.
Funny. Oh, no, it's not so funny, dear.
Yeah. I had heard a rumor that he, threw something at somebody.
Well, I get it. I can't remember some of it now.
I remember a desk being involved.
Oh, maybe.
Being thrown.
Well, he was a bad boy from here a little bit. That's that exuberance.
That was before you knew him, though, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. God, yes. And they threw Toby out of prep.
Oh, they did?
Oh, yeah. He wouldn't study. No, he was capable of so much more. He had an IQ up here somewhere. They determine your IQ with some kind of test, stats or something. I don't know what it is. And his is a biggie. And but he wouldn't study. He'd get D's and E's.
Yeah.
And so they told him his junior year, too, same thing. But they said that there's some kids that want to be here. The school could only take so many that really want to study. So we would just assume that you didn't return in September. It was in the letter. Oh, I burst into tears. I couldn't believe it. They sent it to us, naturally.
Yes.
And would you inform your son that we need to have it for young men that will study. And his report cards were terrible. So were Tom's. And so I was lucky he got into O'Day, I guess, because Catholic school, we wanted Catholic. Yeah. I'm sure the folks wanted him to Catholic school type thing. Yeah. I don't know if he behaved himself there, but he graduated. I never told the kids.
Yeah, never told the kids?
Oh, no. They were curious, and maybe, I don't even know if they know it now. Maybe in my cups I have mentioned it. by now they're all grown.
Right.
Not when they were young, growing up. If Daddy can do it, we can do it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Don't want that.
Spare us. You look so much like your mom. I can't get over it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's funny
I'm
because
sorry you're a Tobin.
no, it's funny because I watch you tell your story, or the stories as you're talking, and I see my mom.
Oh yeah.
I see hints of her, mannerisms and little smiles and whatnot.
Oh
and,
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
we do look alike.
yes.
Besides, we do. Marcy and Peter probably more than. I don't know where Arissa came from or Daniel. They don't look like anybody.
It's funny because actually Mom told me the first time, she said the first time that she was scolding us for something that I had done or that Shayla had done, and she said she heard you in what she was saying.
Oh.
She's like, oh, I sound like my mother. She's like, she had a little reality check right there, like, oh, it's happening,
I was a hollerer.
Yeah.
And Marcy's so good, she's quiet. I've seen her with the kids when they were littler. And certainly Daniel. Yeah. I don't think any one of them hollers, except Tom, excuse me.
Yeah. So, speaking of all your kids, now that your kids have kids, what was that, so having grandkids, what was that experience?
Oh, great. Hey,
Yeah.
the more the merrier, sure. I'm not a granny, though, in the way that come over and stay over with me and stuff. I had too many of my own.
Yeah.
And Daddy was so good with little kids. He'd get down on the floor and goo, and not tickle till they're crazy, but give them little, and this and that. He was so good at that. And he, of course, playing the game of Santa Claus in the heating system, they all remember that with just like it was. Doesn't everybody do that? Didn't every daddy do that? And, but I liked. I was better when they were older.
Yeah.
And Daddy was not.
Yeah.
He kind of
I remember
stepped back, or it wasn't his forte, let me put it that way. Hey, you can't have a better balance than that. I thought that was pretty good. But I'm not so with babies and grandkids when they were little. Well, of course I wasn't around them that much anyway. But I wasn't one to have them come over, and I know grannies that do that.
Yeah.
They're all over their grandkids. Now that they're older, it's a level, I guess, that we can be on.
Yeah.
And
I just had a thought. I wanted to. I remember Pops doing something similar, not with the Santa Claus, but they were working on something in the house, and this is in the duplex.
Oh.
And I came into the bathroom that was downstairs, just behind the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I think he was installing the fan. They installed that timer for the fan, and I heard his voice, and I was like, Pops? And he knew exactly where I was, and I was like, where are you? And once I said that, he was like, well, I'm in the pipes. I'm like, what? And I thought he's like, I'm in the toilet for working on the pipes. And he's like, whatever you do, don't flush it. Don't flush the toilet. And so I think I was about maybe like 5 or 6, and I'd never been scared of a toilet because I thought I was going to flush, Pops down the drain. Yeah, and he was working. Yeah, he was working. He was downstairs in the basement. Oh, cracked me up. Years later, I thought about it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Don't flush the toilet. It's whatever you do. And it's right there. I was like, put my hands behind my back. Didn't want to touch it.
Yeah, he was awfully good with little people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way you are. Yeah. Funny things. I'm going to tell God when I get up there, I sure enjoyed my life.
Yeah.
How come I was so lucky? Yeah. And then, like I say, Marilyn never married, never had kids, and I always feel bad.
Yeah.
Then, of course, she got at the end, you know, she was not well, and depression hit her, and of course, you know, she was in the home.
I remember being in the home, but she wasn't very old, was she?
No, she had a speaking about weak backs, boy, that's another thing that's hereditary, because she had it. And she had a terrible experience with it, just terrible. I don't think they knew enough about it, but they glued her together. You know, if your back keeps going out, they finally
fuse the spine.
And she never recovered from that. She never really did. There was a night nurse that was rough with her, probably didn't know what that patient had, and kind of moved her roughly and hurt her. And she'd cry out, but she said it was the middle of the night and there was no one there except this rough nurse. And she was there about a week, or 10 days, and that nurse was on every night. And she's a grown woman when this happened, and in her late 20s, early 30s, and she was very apprehensive about that woman coming on her shift, and it left an awful, I don't know, affected her very badly. I mean, when your back spasms at you, I've been there, because I finally got it, and no way were they going to operate on me. But I went to a chiropractor, osteopath, which is just above a chiropractor that knows backs, and it helped a great deal, and did it. But anyway, Marilyn went to an orthopedic, which is not the same thing. They want to operate. They don't want to work at it.
Right.
And get muscles on each side. Now, Marcy just had another siege. That's why she didn't get to the big occasion a couple of weeks ago.
Man.
And I said, God, in your 50s, you're still getting it? I said, you're not doing your exercises. And she says, oh, I'm going back to them. But I swam. My guy said, do you like swimming? Oh, I love swimming.
Yeah.
And I'd work at Fredericks and get off and go up to the Y and swim for an hour, and that strengthens the back. But I get a few little sieges, but I guess I can say now that it's pretty much in line. But I'm not doing anything to speak of either. You know, a funny lift the wrong way, and out it goes, and you're not, you're busy trying to do something. And 9 times out of 10, that's what does it.
Yeah.
And Marcy's down there with an awful lot of lifting in the St. Vincent, they run St. Vincent de Paul. And they'll get a couch or a chair or a table. Well, maybe it's a table she thinks she can handle, and just too much. Well, I don't know how it all happens. But so backs are another thing.
I'll keep an eye on those. Kidneys and backs.
Now, you see, these kids that are coming up are sitting on their behinds with the electric fun games and fun sit. We used to say, go out and play. And in the neighborhood, they had a friend maybe 2 blocks away. They didn't have to come in and say, I'm going up there.
Yeah.
Just come in for dinner. I don't know where they were, and didn't care, and it wasn't a worry.
Yeah.
And nowadays, I don't know, kids don't move it enough, to my mind. And if you don't move it, that's part of your skeleton. And I'm concerned for that. Well,
I agree.
Yeah.
It's
so
a certain amount of physical activity you should have. Just back in the day,
they
you
don't
did a lot
even
more
have
of it.
recess in school.
What?
Well, I understand some of the schools don't have recess.
Oh.
There's so much to learn that there's hardly time in the day, so they maybe stand behind their side their desk and go do-dee-dee a couple of times, sit down and go on again.
Oh,
I suppose that they're lucky they have lunch.
Well, I remember going from grade school to high school. You didn't have recess, but you know,
You had lunch hour.
Yeah, you had lunch hour. I just drove by a school though, and I saw them. They were out. They had recess. They were outside playing. So
Maybe they're turning around,
maybe,
and waking
yeah.
up to some of this. Well, anyway, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.